Hey guys, what's going on? Casual Spanking over here, and before you guys decide to click out of this video, or if you haven't clicked on it already, please click on it. How could you know this if you haven't? Of course you've clicked on it if you're listening to my voice right now. Basically, the reason this is important, guys, is because I'm going to be showing you the actual PC I will be building. And of course, once I get all the parts and put it together, I'll show you guys a video of that. But for the meantime, I want to talk to you guys about the reasons I've made the changes I've made in the components and why I've gone the route that I've taken. And basically, I've come to the conclusion that I want to give you guys the best possible videos I can. So that means the best possible video quality, best possible audio quality, and that requires the best possible components that I can get for the money that I am willing to spend. I don't want to, be slouching off on you guys if I have the means to give you better content. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. As you guys will see, the list has changed quite a bit, and it's not in order of the way I want it to be. As you guys can see, the total build comes out to 1,424, and that's including extra components and accessories, not just components for the PC itself. So as you guys can see over here, last thing I added to the shopping cart was the Noctua NF-P12 120mm 2-speed premium fan. Now the reason I could have gone with any other 120mm fan, but the Noctuas have a reputation for being very silent and being very efficient no matter their size. So for the 120mm fans, this is constantly been rated as the best one out there. So I've decided to go with that for some extra cooling. Now for the case, you guys will see that I've changed from the Corsair Carbide 400 series black and gone with the Cooler Master Half 932 advanced full tower case with SuperSpeed USB 3.0. So basically what this means is now I've got a full tower case, which leaves me more room for further expansion in the future. This means that I can go ahead and update my graphics. I can go ahead and put in a larger ATX card. I can go ahead and basically add lots of different cooling options that I might not have been able to do before. If I decide to keep the case, well, I will be keeping the case for a long time in the future. I might actually go with a hardcore water cooling system as my funds increase. But for now, that's what I've gone. As you guys can see, it's a slight price increase, but for what it is, I believe it's worth it. Next, we have the CPU cooler, which is the Noctua 6 dual heat pipe with 140mm and 120mm dual SSO bearing fans. So basically what you've got, guys, I'm going to show you this, is you've got a 140mm fan in the center. As you guys can see, it reaches down a little bit lower. And then you've got the 120mm fan on the outside, so it's slightly more compatible with different RAM options, or depending what you're running on your motherboard at the time. If you had the 140mm on the outside, it might be somewhat troublesome to fit certain types of RAM, and that's another reason, which leads us to the next bit, the RAM. As you guys can see, I've decided to get rid of the Corsair Vengeance and gone with the Kingston technology HyperX 8 gigs in two 4GB modules. So basically this will be taking advantage of the dual channel on the motherboard. And the reason I chose this is because as you guys can see here, it doesn't have the large heat sinks on the top, which basically would have interfered with the CPU cooler. So I've gone with that, and the reason I've gone as well with the Noctua 6 dual heat pipe with 140mm, well, the air-cooled CPU cooler rather than the water-cooled, is because I feel that the least moving parts that you have, the more reliable your system will be, as well as it reduces the risk of any possible leakage in the computer, as well as giving me some decent CPU cooling options. Next, for the motherboard with the Gigabyte GA990FX AM3 Plus AMD basically motherboard, and you guys will be like, oh, AMD, I thought you guys were going with the Intel. Nope, I decided to go with the AMD FX8350. It's an 8-core Black Edition processor, and for the money, as you guys can see, it's $199. The Core i5 3570K was running me about $219, and the 4670K was running me about $229. So I figured if we're getting similar performance, I might as well just go ahead and maybe take off a little bit of the CPU performance and update the GPU, as well as basically save myself quite a bit of money both in the motherboard and in the CPU, or rather in this case I believe it's an APU. I'm not sure about the entire difference between AMD and Intel. I just know that they're rival companies. Again, I'm a total computer noob. So for the disk drive, I've gone with the Asus 24x DVD. This has stayed the same from the last setup that I had selected. For the hard drive, I kept the Western Digital 1TB Caviar Black SATA 3. And I was also going to add an SSD, guys, and I could still add an SSD to the cost. But again, remember, I want to get Battlefield 4 the PC Deluxe Edition or whatever the hell it's called, so you get more of those battle packs. And I'm trying to give you guys the full experience when it comes to Battlefield 4 and on the PC. as well as on console as soon as I get a chance to save up for either an Xbox One or PS4. Now for the power supply, I've gone with the Corsair CX750 Builder Series, ATX 80 Plus Bronze Certified. It's a very, very, very good value for the money. It's $83 on Amazon currently. And for a 750 watt power supply, it's not modular, so you will have the big ass tangle of cables at the bottom of your case, which might kind of impede with the airflow, but you know, shit happens and I'll find a way around it. The case is large enough that I'll have enough cable routing solutions. OS, I'm sticking with the Microsoft Windows 7 Home Premium for $178. And the last three components we're going to have over here are the graphics card and two accessories. Excuse me there. The Gigabyte AMD Radeon HD 7970 Overclock Edition 3GB GDDR5 video memory is a great selection. It's pretty much on par with the GTX 770, and I feel it might be slightly lower in performance, but it's also quite a bit cheaper. The GTX 770 is running about $399 to $450 and higher. So for, again, price for performance kind of compromises here. I've decided to go with the 7970, and previously I think I was going to go with the 660, but you know, I've decided to up the ante over here. And ever since I found out that Battlefield 4 is being optimized for AMD performance, I decided to go with the AMD root, and that's kind of what led me to think, oh, maybe I'll go with an AMD CPU. Then you've also got the Meter Bridge White RJ45 computer networking Ethernet cable. Basically, it's a 100-foot Ethernet cable for $11.99. The reason I chose this, guys, is because I don't know if you can tell, this is a lie. I really don't have 4 bars upstairs in my room from the wireless. So the modem's downstairs currently because I got my Xbox down there and I get the best possible connection when I'm playing. Naturally, I moved the modem upstairs and the router upstairs, but I'd still prefer to have a solid Ethernet connection rather than be relying on wireless. And I've also gone with the SteelSeries 4 HD Professional Gaming Mouse Pad in black, which is a huge improvement over my little $5, but like 7 by 5 inch mouse pad that I'm currently using to record this. And the reason I chose that is because I might be updating my mouse, and I like to play on a slightly lower sensitivity, so I need a slightly larger mouse pad to take full advantage of that. But with that, guys, that's what I've come up to with the $1,424.27 US dollars, and I feel that's going to be a really solid build. It's got a lot of potential for, you know, updating in the future, and hopefully it might be something you guys might want to consider if you guys are looking forward to building your own computers as well. I don't think you can go wrong with Windows. See, look at that. That's my internet right there, man. It lags. It's like an 8-foot difference between downstairs and upstairs in my room, and it's just lagging like crazy. So that's what it is, guys. I might add an extra 120mm fan to add to the CPU cooler on the other side, which might give me some extra cooling capabilities. But with that being said, guys, this is an update, so be expecting full-on Ultra Battlefield 4 gameplay. I might have to turn down the anti-aliasing quite a bit, but I can tell you it's going to look pretty damn sexy on this machine, or at least that's what I've gathered from a lot of reviews. And literally, guys, it's just been hours and hours of watching video reviews on components. I do recommend going over to Linus Tech Tips, NCIX, and Tech Quickies, all kind of hosted by Linus, as well as the Newegg PC reviews and component reviews hosted by Paul, or whoever the hell they bring in. I prefer Paul. He's like a really cool guy. But with that being said, guys, I might actually tone down to the Cooler Master Storm Striker or the Stormtrooper. I might go with the Striker just for like the side panel, you know, being clear, but the Stormtrooper is slightly cheaper, I think like $10, so it might go from $69 to $149, so that's saving $20 off the price there, bringing the price down to $1,427, $400.27 I should say, which gives you additional room for an SSD, which I will be adding an SSD, guys, in the future, probably 120 gigabyte Samsung 840. But that is it for today, guys. As you can see, hopefully you guys, you know, appreciate the cost increase I am adding to the system. You know, again, this is all for the performance for you guys, and obviously for my gaming pleasure. But it's primarily to give you guys better content. So with that being said, guys, I will go ahead and catch you later.